If you somehow haven't seen, I have been busy building my very own custom theme park in Planet Coaster 2 over a multitude of episodes, and we have built so many different areas now, including our newest one, the Chinese themed land, which will have a name announced today as we finally complete this area, which, fun fact, is the longest it's taken to build an area in this series. We've been doing it for 4 episodes and every other one has been 3 or 2. You probably didn't care about that, but there you go. But as said, today we finish off this area by finishing the 2 new rides that we added in the last episode. And alongside, I have done some updates to things that have been built already. And we've actually expanded on certain portions of previous areas to work our way into the future of this park, which I'm going to talk about loads throughout this video and towards the end. So be sure to watch to the end. And be sure to use that subscribe button as well if you have enjoyed this series so far. There are so many more episodes to come. And episode 17 starts right now because this is episode 17, which is crazy, and the time lapse has begun. Welcome back to the series Isle of Discovery. What a series it's been, man. We've built so many different areas, like I said. We've built the Viking-themed area that was second to the Greek-themed area. You have the jungle area, steampunk, Chinese now, and technically there's a subcategory of this Chinese area in the bamboo forest section, which we're building here. And it's been such a pleasure building this project so far. This park is coming along very nicely, and sadly soon it probably will be time to hang up the park and finish it and put it on the Frontier Workshop for all of you guys to see. I know a lot of you have been asking whether it's going on the workshop or not. I think I've said before, but if I haven't, it's going on the workshop, I promise. Last episode comes out, it will be out at the exact same time on the workshop, but that's way too far into the future. We can talk about the future of the park and what I'm building, but I don't want to talk about the park ending just yet. I mean, I'm the one that comes up with the topics for these things, so I don't know why I'm complaining. As you can see, I have built and terrained up a mound, a mountain almost. It's definitely not a mountain, but fun fact as well, I've given you the fun fact that this area is the longest it's taken to finish one, such as, you've got the Greek area that took 3 episodes, even with its expansion. The jungle area only took 2, this has taken 4. So, on top of that, another fun fact for today. Although it's not a Friday fun fact because it's Wednesday when this is going out, I assume. But this mountain is the tallest point you can reach in the park currently. And the reason I say currently is something I'll get onto later. The other tallest points, second tallest is Valkyrie, just under this mountain. And then under that is the temple that you can see off in the distance that houses that insane Danse Macabre style dark ride. And still extremely proud of that. Still the best thing I've made in this game. But could it be for long? Who knows? Maybe this mountain will be the best thing. No. Basically, if you don't know, in the previous episode, I built this family B&M inverted coaster. I was going to say mini invert. It's still not tiny, but it's a lot smaller than the other one in the park. And it's definitely not a proper B&M invert because it's just... Yeah, you get my point. I built that and a top spin. Placed them both down and obviously built the coaster. I didn't just place that down. And then left it. Gave you guys a bit of a sort of rundown on what I'd like to theme it to. And today we're theming it to that. A bamboo forest style area. I wanted to make a sub area of the Chinese themed land and just sort of make this very, not forest-esque, but... Well, I mean, it is a bamboo forest, so technically it has to be. But just something nice to walk into and to merge the jungle area with this area too, which again, I'll go into later. But it was quite difficult to make a bamboo forest in Planet Coaster 2. Obviously, in real life, a bamboo forest is just full of bamboo. But when I tried to do that, it looked awful because you've just got these lines of the same green tree-looking things, and I don't know, it just didn't look right. And to me, I like a little bit more detail. It could have been simple like that. I'm sure some people have probably made a bamboo forest in this game, and I'm sure it looks lovely, but it wasn't my cup of tea. So what I've done is I've introduced buildings and a mountain. As you can see, I'm building this nice little like pagoda type thing here. Obviously, you don't want to put another Chinese temple in this area because there's too many already. You've got the spinning coaster, Jinshi, you've got that entire building and the back half of it, and also that dark ride, the massive temple anyway. So I didn't want to make another temple, so I made this nice little building on the side of the mountain. I thought it'd be really nice. I don't even know what you'd call this. Is it a mountain? It's just a hill with trees. But it's got a nice waterfall that runs down it eventually, and it does house the station for the invert underneath. I thought it'd be quite cool to, instead of putting it in a building, have this really cool terrain, go up the side and have that actual station underneath it all. I thought it would be a little bit different to anything we've done in the park so far. Damn, what an area, man. I think this is, I say it every time, I think this might be my favourite area I've built in the park so far. Obviously the jungle area, Jungle Rush, is still probably my favourite coaster because of just how nicely it swings through the trees. Well, it doesn't swing, but you get what I mean. But this area, especially with the spinning coaster and now these two rides that I'm building now, you'll see the top spin theming go in later, very much inspired by Talakan. I'm just really, really happy with it. I say it every time, but as someone who used to make all these different recreations in Planet Coaster 1 and barely ever made like my own stuff, to actually make my own park and just see how nicely it comes together, and even when I'm building it, I sometimes think like, how is this going to work? Like when I first built the spinning coaster and even the Danse Macabre style dark ride, I sat there, I was like, I'm not going to be able to fit this in properly. And it just ends up fitting in perfectly. I don't know what is happening. I don't know whether it's the game. I don't know whether it's me being an idiot. I don't know. But genuinely, this park couldn't have been any better. So I'm really happy with everything I've done. The queue line here, the queue line for the invert does actually go around quite a lot of the outside and does a little turn on the inside. So nothing special. There's literally no point in you seeing it. It's just cave. But you can see the waterfall off to the left that I did off camera. As said, sometimes time lapses can be a little bit frustrating because obviously I don't want to film me working on the park for 20 minutes and then stop it and then film for 2 hours, which I think this clip might be, and then film for another 10 minutes separately. It's a bit frustrating in that respect, but obviously I'm trying my best to capture the most important pieces that I can, including this pathway here. What is this pathway going to be? Well, there's space for 3 more areas. I think I've said that before. 3 more areas and the water park. I think I might have said 5 more areas originally, but with how big some of these areas are, definitely not 5. But there is space for 3 more areas, including, and on top of that, the water park in the other corner of the park. And I have plans for all 3. But if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I'd love to hear your suggestions. You may or may not know already, there is a Wild West area coming. I thought I had to do it considering the new update that's coming out. It's got the Wild West theming in it. It just has to be done, doesn't it, really? But I've been reading a lot of your comments, as I always do, and I know a lot of you guys do want to see that wooden roller coaster in the area. Not in the area, in the park. That would be way too big of an area if I added another coaster into here. But a lot of you want to see a wooden coaster. Some of you want to see an RMC, an indoor roller coaster. I've even heard a Giga coaster. Stay tuned for a portion later where I'm going to be talking about what's next, because there is a tall ride coming. That is sort of the reason why I said the tallest points in the park are this, that and the other, because there's going to be one that shatters them soon, and I promise you, I just can't wait to build it. It's going to be great. But yeah, we're just building a little like alley section here. I thought it'd be quite nice to, you know, you don't want to just have main paths. You want to have some little areas that you can walk down and that aren't as major, so there's maybe some like hidden secrets in there or something. I think like Taron, that's very much somewhere that you can walk down these little alleyways and stuff. That's really cool. So yeah, I thought it'd be really nice to do that. You got this seating area up here, which I don't know if I still probably will be building this in April when the other update comes out, because they're going to add restaurants, and at that point, that building you see behind here with the seating will become a restaurant, if that makes sense. So we're going to have to wait till April to do that. But April isn't far away, you know. We're almost halfway through March. It's nearly the new season at theme parks as well. Can't wait for that. And I'm going to be at Alton Towers opening day. I can't wait to go on Toxicator. It's going to be great. Leave a comment if you're there too. If you're excited for Toxicator, because there's a ride in this park coming up that's very much like Toxicator, just not on a concrete plinth. What a record, by the way. Like, I really wanted to break that record as a joke and just have this massive concrete plinth, and you can see this top spin going. I should have put it on top of the mountain. What am I doing? But instead I put it underground slightly, so we're definitely not breaking that record, but that would have actually been really funny if I put it on that mountain. Instead of that building I just made. I should have done that. God damn it. But one thing I do need to talk about, and I spoke about it a little while back, but not for very long, is the flow of the park. I did say when I was building the Viking area, I think, that I really want more than one area to be accessible via an area, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, then I'll just explain it briefly using some of the areas we have. Industria, our steampunk area. If you go into there from the main lake, again, that's one entry point, you can go in through the whole area and exit out into Storstime, the Viking area, or Amazonia, the jungle area. So you can sort of exit and enter through different pathways, and you're not just going into an area and then having to come back the same way. A little bit like Rookburg is at Alton Towers. Oh my god, imagine if they had that. Gee, I'd be in heaven. Rookburg at Phantasialand, from what I know, still only has one entrance and exit, which is cool for the theming, but at the same time, the guest flow might be disrupted. So with this park, I really wanted to do an area that has multiple exit points. And what I found with the Chinese themed land is the only way to get in was from Amazonia. And, well, there was only one entry point in Amazonia, and it was quite a small, like, very hidden entrance to the land. So what I've gone and done, and I'll show you it in just a bit in real time, I've made another entrance on this side of the Chinese themed area in the bamboo forest section. And you might have seen it in the background where that waterfall was. And it actually comes behind where the Zamperla Disco is. Mamba Strike, as we called it, in Amazonia. So as much as you still have to go into the jungle area to get to here, and there's been no other sort of route made from another area, as long as you can get here via more than one route, I don't really care. So we'll work with that. But I'll show you all of that later on. Here we go with the top spin. This has a name as well, just to let you know, as does the B&M Invert family coaster, and the land, and the dark ride, because I realise I haven't given a name to any of that, but I will be in this video. So if your name's been chosen, then thank you very much for the name, and also just thank you for all of the suggestions in general. I know I'll probably repeat this at the end of the series and many a time throughout, but just thank you everyone for the support on this series. It is genuinely such a passion project. Like, I absolutely love building in this park. I know some of the episodes I say, oh, I haven't finished this yet, or I'm still yet to do this. That is just because I haven't had the time, and I don't want to rush it, because if I rush this park, then it is just not going to be fun anymore. So I'm making sure I do everything the best I can, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am making it. So yeah, I'm doing some fire effects on the top spin now, and as you can see, going around. Oh my god, that looks so fast on the time lapse. But yeah, I've looked through all of your name suggestions again. Thank you for all that. Obviously, it's very difficult to pick one out. I know a lot of you guys do comment them, and you'll get more comments underneath saying like, oh, this is a great idea, and it's very difficult to choose one, but I do find the ones that I really, really like and I think will suit it the most. It's a hard decision process, but it just works, I guess. So hopefully in the future, when we do more park series and when I build the next few areas, if your name hasn't been chosen in this series yet, there might be a chance. So yeah, keep commenting your suggestions. And this episode, I guess, comment suggestions for a future area theme. I have 3 in mind, but if I do see ones that do sort of, you know, sound better than the ones that I have in my mind, which aren't the best and aren't the most unique, then I would be definitely doing them instead. So yeah, get your suggestions in the comments, please. And here I go with the top spin back end. You may be thinking you're just copying Talican here then, because I'm building sort of a curved wall facing one side and the other side is a viewing platform. No, I'm not copying Talican, because as much as this is a wall, it doesn't go all the way up, and it's not, I guess, the most themed thing in the world. It's not like loads of rock work and stuff. But I thought I'd go for that sort of thing on that side, because as you can see, again, thank you to those on the workshop that make these amazing back of house like warehouses and stuff. They've been such a help to this park, and when I do eventually release it, I will link them all, or like put the codes for them all in the description. But literally, I've been making quite a few back of house areas because I've had a few comments saying like, oh, this isn't realistic because you can't go back here and there can't be maintenance bays for this and that and the other. So yeah, I've tried my best to be realistic with stuff like that. And having a wall here when there is a back of house area behind it will just help block it off. So what I thought, we'll just make this curved wall that's a bit broken at the edges, like you've seen with the spinning coaster, that sort of side. The back temple was very broken and just sort of ruined. So I thought we'd do a similar thing here, and as you can see, just working our way around with some rocks and some trees. Very, very simple stuff. Genuinely, if you're stuck for a theme of a ride or something in Planet Coaster 2, just stick some trees down and some rocks. It does so much, genuinely. I think half the rides in this park, I don't think there's a single area without some form of rock or tree next to it. And I was about to say the steampunk area, but that has loads of rocks in it. So there you go. And trees. Bloody, there's so much stuff trees and rocks can do, guys. And I know a lot of you want a tree episode. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Maybe I'll post that to my second channel, which I also need to plug right now. And I will do again later. Because, obviously, I know I said I was going to show you the inside of the Danse Macabre style dark ride today and show you the full show sequence. I've been having a few teething issues with it and sort of linking up certain things, so I won't be showing you it now. But if you keep an eye on my second channel, which I will link in the description and I guess in the top right if I remember, go and subscribe to that because I'm posting all the separate POVs of all the coasters and the rides, and there will be one for that when that is fully sorted and complete. So I can promise you that POV is coming, just not on this channel and on my second one. Talking of trees and rocks and dark rides, let's go into real time. That was an awful segue. And here we are in real time at the front entrance of Isle of Discovery. I can't wait next week for that train up there to be changed. Finally. But as we walk in, as you can see, we've got our staff walking around, so happy and joyous. And then we've got the Emporium, which is still under construction, and the main lake area right here. And we're going to walk to the right once again, and probably for one of the final times, because I think the other areas will just walk from the Chinese theme land to there, because it'll be so much easier. And you've seen this area about 1,000,000 times already. So as you can see, we've made our way to Amazonia now, and I'm going to talk about a few ways you can get into the area now. So first of all, you come down these stairs here, right next to the river rapids down there. And then as you walk all the way along here, there'll be a different area down there. Ooh. And through this quite nice woodland pathway, you then enter through this little side entrance here. Another entrance is over on this side of Amazonia, but I'll go on to that in just a moment, because the main entrance to enter the area is through this archway where it says "Welcome to Lantasia," and that was a name suggested by Ringy Ranger. Sorry if I got that wrong. And I absolutely love that name because not only does it suit the Chinese theme, but also there are so many lanterns around. I mean, look at it on just that temple alone, and then all the way over there as well. That name makes so much sense. So thank you for suggesting that. But just quickly before we delve deeper into that area, as you can see, when you reach the entrance to Amazonia, you take a left and you've got this Katanga Canyon very much inspired thing here. And then you have this pathway here, which I did sort of leave as a blank space, but I thought there'd be more playground stuff. I thought it'd be better as this. You can take these stairs all the way up here, and then you sort of reach this bridge, which goes right behind the Zamperla Disco, which is probably the closest anyone will ever get to some sort of ride in this park. And you've got this really cool view, and I thought this would work really well because it does lead onto the bamboo forest style area quite well. I mean, there's not really a sort of, you know, mishap. It's very blended because of a lot of trees being used, but I have actually left this area unfinished right now because I wanted to know your guys' opinions on what I should do with this bit. Do you think I should extend out the pathway a little bit and do like, I don't know, a sort of waterfall side restaurant? Should I have some sort of cave walkthrough in that mountain that actually leads you to like a seating area on here? There's so many different possibilities, so if you have any ideas, please let me know. But I thought a different entrance there would work really well because now as you walk towards the Danse Macabre style ride, you get this impressive view of the temple there. I think that's a better view than when you enter the area from over there. And speaking of this dark ride that I'm not going to POV in this episode, as I said, check out my second channel if you want to see that. But it now has a name of The Legend of Peng Lai, which is suggested by the Nebula Moth. And they basically said that the story is you travel to Mount Peng Lai, and it's actually a legendary island in Chinese mythology. So it has some truth to it. And inside, you're going to witness the 8 different immortals, which is different characters from Chinese mythology again. And you're going to witness their powers in person. I think that's such a great idea for the inside of this attraction and the storyline. And it's not fully complete yet because obviously there's going to be an area backing onto this, so I need to make sure it blends in nicely. But I have started the nice gardens-esque queue line. You can see like a rock with like the sword in it up there, and if you continue on down, you've got some statues. That was a tree in my face. Obviously the main thing to look at is the temple, but if you feast your eyes on this thing here, this was actually in the memorial gardens that we have in Ethereal Gardens, and I thought I'd move it here just because it looks really cool and it sort of gives you a taster of what the ride's going to be. And yeah, very, very magical. Yeah, just a nice, clean gardens-esque queue line, and then of course you enter that ride. But yeah, second channel if you want to see the POV of all of that, because I'm having teething issues and I can't help it. A smaller thing as well, Jinshi now has its own entrance sign, and that looks a lot nicer than it did before, because I literally just took the one of the entrance sign and just stuck it there, so this looks a lot better. And I said I was going to do it, but the trains now have a custom design on them. As you can see, very sort of similar pieces that you see on I guess the actual buildings, but yeah, you've got the sort of like the T-bar thing above, like Right to Happiness has, and you've got some little decals here and there, and yeah, I think it looks quite nice. And it actually looks a bit menacing, you know. But now moving our way to the bamboo forest section. And as you can see, we have the B&M inverted family coaster right above, and it's actually going now. And all of the pathways are a little bit different here. It's less clean. You can see there's no fences. It's just sort of rocks and trees and everything. And there we go. Oh, look at the fire as well in the background. That was a cool shot. Got a nice fountain, and we're going to take a look at the top spin first. What just happened there, I have no idea. Which I have named Kong Zong, which is a name suggested by Jeremy's Coaster Yard. And in English, that is actually the name for a Chinese yo-yo. And I think that is a really cool idea, because I know yo-yos you just throw down and they spin a little bit and come back up. And that's not sort of what this does. But let's be honest, it basically does that because it just spins round and round. So I really appreciate that name suggestion. I absolutely love that. Got like the water effects on. There should be some fire as well that we've seen already. And the cycle is pretty unique as well, because halfway through, or no, it's towards the end. I don't even know my own rides. It actually does this. I know normal top spins don't do this, but it said that it was an option about twisting, and I thought it looked cool. And it would be something a little bit different than just a regular top spin. That stopped so suddenly. Why the hell are these flat rides like this? But yeah, I'm actually viewing this from the seating area in what's going to be the restaurant, and I thought that was actually a really nice view, probably the best view you can get of it. Got the smaller buildings with a little seating area over there. You got some like lanterns, and I probably will actually put some sort of, I don't know, drink shop or something in this wall here, so this seating area actually has purpose. Look, we've got a waterfall again just there with some rocks, and then we've got this nice underpass underneath the coaster, the sun shining through, and then another seating area with a little eatery. Through there is the exit for the ride, but we don't want to go through there. We want to go through the entrance, which is actually just opposite the Top Spin's entrance. But there you go, you can see like a nice water effect there, sort of a splashdown-ish, and it actually has another one on that drop there. And throughout the area, you actually can get quite close to the track and the ride itself. But let's go over to that entrance then, because here we're going to find out the name as well. You've got the nice little building and pagoda up there, but following that, we have this entrance for Fusang, and this name was suggested by Gaffy Goober, and pretty much it means the tree of life in English. And I thought, you know, we're in a bamboo forest, there's loads of different trees around, and obviously we've got that main mound of like loads of trees up there. So yeah, I really love that name, and I absolutely love the placement of the sort of entrance underneath that turnaround. So yes, thank you for that suggestion. As said in the time lapse, the queue line literally wraps around and underneath the ride, going around here as well, and then into the station, which, well, let's just ride this thing, man. And here we go. I almost missed that. We're on Fusang, and we're going up the lift hill. Of course, we have the B&M invert, the huge one, Valkyrie in the park. I don't know if you can see that. No. But we're on the family one of Fusang, and here we go. turning the first corner. Look at that view, man. That's so cool. And this is a very windy ride. A few custom supports around pretty much the whole thing. That turnaround around the entrance. Splashdown. Pop of airtime there. This bit feels like your feet are going to crack against the rock. Look at that. Wow. It's just very, like, nice and peaceful. That bit's quite whippy. Same with this bit. And then you head straight into the brake run. I feel like if it were in the game, that would be a Vekoma family suspended coaster, not the B&M version, but I'm happy with it either way. As you can see, there's a few back of house sections, like I've been saying, right here with the maintenance bay, and I've even done some for the top spin of Kong Zong right here. And you can see the warehouse, and this will basically run all the way along this river. And hopefully, if we want to stop lagging, meet up here and then we'll have some sort of entry point as well. But the park is coming along nicely. And now this area is complete. What is next? Well, as you may be able to tell, I have actually sectioned off an area to go in this corner here. And I've also sectioned off this huge area around this bit. And there would also be space for an area right here. So we got 3 more potential spaces if that is possible, because that might be way too small. But one of them is going to be the Wild West. One of them, I've been thinking about another sort of mythology that we could sort of use some of the Greek mythology pieces in. And the other, I was thinking of a theme that isn't in the game yet, but it was a DLC in the previous one. And there's a lot of pieces in this game that we could use to do that. I mean, literally, there's not a Chinese theme or a steampunk theme, and we managed to do them. So I'm sure I could do that as well. But yes, leave your suggestions for them 3, because the next episode will not be about coasters. It is going to be building this water park over here. I think I first said in like episode 5 or something that there was going to be a water park in this corner here, and I haven't touched it since. All I've done is start sort of working on some of the infrastructure around it. But now in the next episode, with the new update, with the slides, physics and everything like that, we're going to start building this water park right here. And I'm not fully sure if it's going to be solely a Viking theme. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. And I know I haven't started building it yet, but start thinking of some ideas for a name for that water park, because we're going to need one. And I think it'd be really cool if we called it something along the lines of Isle of Discovery, but I don't know, water of... see how good I am with names, eh? But I hope you guys enjoy that in the next episode. There will be more episodes of the coasters and stuff in between the water park. I'm not just going to be doing that, I promise. But that's what's next. And yeah, subscribe so you don't miss it. Goodbye!